This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Lukmade, and this is Africa Now. A court in Egypt has sentenced a media tycoon with close links to the government to 3 years in jail for his involvement in human trafficking and the indecent assault of underage girls at an orphanage he founded. The public prosecutor said that Mohammed El Amin had exploited his authority and the girls' vulnerability. El Amin had denied the charges and will be able to appeal against the sentence. Work hard and eradicate poverty instead of lamenting your plight, as poor people will not go to heaven because they insult God through lamentations and accusations every day, a Ugandan senior politician said. The Minister for Internal Affairs, General Kahinda Otafire, urging people, said, and I quote, "Why do you disturb God by asking him for money all the time? Yet he gave you hands, eyes, brains, ears, land, and rains, amongst others. The tools he gave you are enough to make you prosper." End of quote. Youth unemployment and underemployment is high in Uganda, which has one of the world's youngest populations, with 75% of citizens under the age of 30. Now to politics. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the newly elected president of Somalia, has assumed office a week after he was voted in by members of parliament. Outgoing President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo handed over power to Mohamed at Villa Somalia, the presidential palace in the capital Mogadishu, in a ceremony that was broadcast live on state television. Farmajo urged Somalis to work with the new president, and Mohamed has promised to focus on security, national reconciliation and debt relief during his first 100 days in office. The official inauguration is expected in June. Now on security matters. Significant proportions of weapons and arms seized from Islamist insurgents in Niger came from West African state stockpiles, suggesting authorities are struggling to secure arms stores in the region, a report said on Monday. There was no suggestion that any governments were sending weapons to militants who have launched attacks in Niger, as well as Cameroon, Chad and Nigeria. Conflict Armament Research, the group that published the report, said. The group said it had identified 165 weapons and 6,243 pieces of ammunition in October 2019 that authorities had recovered from the Islamist fighters in Difa, southeast Niger. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. Business stories and more coming your way after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back in business. The African Development Bank has released $1.5 billion to tackle a looming food crisis on the continent. The funds will be channeled to about 20 million farmers across the continent in the form of purchases for certified seed, fertilizer and better farming technology. The target is to enable farmers to produce at least 38 million tons of food this season, according to a decision reached by the bank's Board of Governors on Friday. The United States Department of State's Treasury, Commerce and Labor issued a business advisory on Sudan, highlighting the growing reputational risk to U.S. businesses and individuals associated with conducting business with Sudanese state-owned enterprises and military-controlled companies. This risk is said to arise from, among other things, recent actions undertaken by Sudan's Sovereign Council and security forces under the military's command, including an especially serious human rights abuse against protesters. State Department spokesman Ned Price said the U.S. government remained committed to supporting the Sudanese people's aspiration for a civilian-led transition to an elected government. Now moving away from business to more security matters. At least 11 civilians were killed in attacks on 2 villages in northern Burkina Faso on Sunday, a regional governor said in a statement on Monday. Unidentified armed assailants targeted the 2 communities in Seno province, which is among those hit by rising insecurity as jihadist groups with links to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State seek to gain control over once peaceful part of West Africa's Central Sahel region. In a statement on Monday, Governor Radolf Sogo did not provide further details on the attacks, but called on locals to be vigilant. The Rwandan army says several civilians have been injured in cross-border shelling by troops from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It said it had asked a regional team of military observers, the expanded joint verification mechanism, to conduct an urgent investigation. Tensions between the two countries have increased since March, when the M23 rebel group attacked two Congolese army positions. Rwanda denies accusation that it supports the rebels. And in sports, Kenya and Zimbabwe will not take part in the qualifiers for the 2023 African Cup of Nations after they failed to overturn their suspensions by FIFA for political interference. The two countries had initially been included in the draw for the qualifiers in April on condition that their suspensions be lifted in mid-May, 2 weeks before the first match day gets underway on June 1. Group C will now comprise Cameroon, Namibia and Burundi, with the top two qualifying for next year's tournament in Ivory Coast. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.TOS TVNetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Lukwade. Thanks for watching.